What's up, everybody? Brett here, back today playing some more Darkest Dungeon. Alright guys, so last episode was a bit of an abject failure for me. I don't know what happened, but my microphone's audio did not record. It was a long episode, so it was literally just me talking to myself for like an hour and 10 minutes. Which sucks, because I like to think that I said some really funny and insightful stuff, so let's pretend that I did. The great thing though is that most of you guys ended up watching it anyway. I can tell that looking at YouTube and seeing like, average time watched and things like that. So it looks like a lot of people still watch the episode, which is, I don't know if that's hurtful or really nice, because either that means you like the gameplay enough that you want to keep watching it, but maybe I'm unnecessary. Either way, it was hilarious, and I was happy that it ended up working out. I was happy that at least the game audio works. I would rather the game audio work, honestly, if I had to choose one to be broken. I would rather it just be like my commentary's missing, but the gameplay is still good. So, I'll take that. And so I've done a couple checks. Everything should be working right now. And where are we now? So last time we took out the thing from Beyond the Stars. We beat I think that was our last veteran level boss. I think we're completely past veteran level bosses now. And we are going to move on into the harder stuff and continue progressing in the different dungeons. We have quite a few heirlooms that we could spend. I was kind of thinking about the survivalist here. Upgrading the survivalist increases the available campaign skills and reduces their learning cost. We haven't upgraded this at all, and I was wondering if we get any like special Wayne June lines.
Success depends on survival.
Nice. And you'll see the tent changes on the cliff top. It's pretty expensive though. I mean, in terms of just sheer heirloom costs. The most important thing to upgrade is definitely the sanitarium. And this is something we should have upgraded a long time ago, probably.
Can overcome things a sharpened sword cannot.
Because they are extremely expensive, and if we could have reduced it all this time by like 30%, we should have. Disease treatment, not so much. It's mostly just about unlocking the last couple slots here. And this unlocks the ones in the medical ward, which is not what we need. We want this one here. Patient cells level 3. So we can really start removing negative quirks if we want to later in the game. We've never really reached the mythical level of infinite gold that I was talking about in the beginning, because we've been constantly doing this using the treatment ward, which is fun. It gives me something to do while we're playing, but if I could go back in time, I wouldn't remove a single negative quirk, because a lot of times they get cycled out anyway with other negative quirks, and you don't really have to do that. And then in the end, when I would have 1,000,000.2 gold and I'm making 5% interest each run, like I can literally spend 60 grand a turn if I want to, and it doesn't affect our gold at all. But that's neither here nor there. We're still well off in terms of some runs that you can do. I'm not going to upgrade the medical devices. There's really nothing else that I want to upgrade. The guild and the blacksmith and the sanitarium are the most important, with the abbey and tavern being kind of just auxiliary stress relief. The stagecoach I would like to upgrade. You know what, let's just do it.
More arrive, foolishly seeking fortune and glory in this domain of the damned.
There we go. We're going to try and get everything 100% upgraded before we finish this playthrough, and I don't think that's a difficult thing to try and accomplish. But for now, let's choose where we're going to go. So I was looking at this. I would kind of like to go back into the ruins because I wouldn't mind fighting the thing again. It's a much easier and faster way to get shards than actually doing the farmstead, which is something else that I would like to go back into, just for the sake of variation, and we will do it for sure. Reflection Obscura. Interesting. I'm actually not sure why this is here. I don't know. But when this goes up some more, we'll be trying to get more invitations to go back into the courtyard. But for now, we just need to grind out these main areas. So I was looking here. This town event, Silence in the Crypts. So what would happen is we do this event, it levels up the ruins, we probably get access to another boss, maybe we even get to fight the thing here, and then we would go right back into the ruins, potentially fighting a boss with the buffs from Silence in the Crypts. However, I did see this. I would love to get another Book of Sanity. It's one of the best items in the game, in my opinion, just minus 20% stress to pair with a lot of the items that we have. And it's a champion level medium link dungeon. It's about what I feel like doing. So let's try and put something together. It's for the Weald. The Weald is a weird place. I could do some sort of like bleeding comp. Something like this, perhaps? We want to be at least level 5. I mean, this is a medium link champion dungeon, after all. To make sure none of these guys have, like... I hate going to the Weald. Necromania, eh? You can get arrested for that. Don't let anyone catch you. Alright, let's put her up front. What abilities do we have on her? Iron Swan. I like Iron Swan, just lets me hit the back line, but I probably don't need that. I'd almost certainly be better off using Breakthrough in case of, you know, you ever need AoE damage or the ability to move forward. There's also Yop. It's hard to turn down the double stun. This is really only good if we find ourselves being moved. I'm going to keep it like this, that's fine. Alright, let's go back and check on everyone's levels and things. Behemoth can go up. Alright, so we finally get the Burden. Big damage increase. And the Testament. So you can see that it's got that creepy symbol on his chest. The Wolf's Tooth. And the Wolf's Pelt. Jester gets Slash and Solo. And the Cruelest Crown. You gotta love the alliteration. The Mentor's Skull. Dark Inquisition. Now this is straight up Doctor Strange. Alright, we've gotta upgrade these for sure. We're just going to upgrade the ones we're currently using. Otherwise, this gets very expensive. What kind of setup we running here? May want to consider running Dirk Stab. Like I said, it could be one of our only ways to move forward conveniently. You want to have a little bit of movement in your party. Yeah, I think that's just plain redundant. Definitely want to buff that. Sure. She is good to go. Okay. I don't think there's anyone in town that really needs anything. What are we going to put on her? We just straight up give her some damage in a Book of Sanity. Let's give our Occultist. Wish we had more and better stuff for him. Kind of feel like I just never really figured out the Occultist on this run, where he fits into my particular, you know, newer play style. Because every time I come back to this game, I end up playing in a different way. You know, let's unequip. I don't know if I unequipped all my trinkets. No, I didn't. Okay. Alright, this is much better now. More damage. Probably just give him protection. Give him healing. And then probably the Bright Tambourine. Maybe just give him a little bit of extra HP. That'll work. I mean, we're not using some really good items here. This is probably just straight up better because we don't lose the max HP. We even get a little bit of bonus in terms of stress relief. And we miss out on 10% damage, but we gain dodge and speed. We keep our health. Yeah, that's probably just better. Alright, guys. Everyone's outfitted. Sure thing. Let's get our next Book of Sanity, and then we can sell that book. The Book of Holiness. We'll just sell that and get rid of it. Let us provision. Want to bring extra torches because we so heavily rely on them for some of our stats. I think that's fine. Yeah, let's embark. My little brother texted me earlier this morning asking me if vodka really means like little water in Russian. He's got some kind of app that gives him
soaked the soil,
daily facts.
sapping all good life from these groves. Let us burn out this evil.
I told him, I was like, man, if you want to do that, just like buy a Snapple every day and read the cap. I feel like it's been forever since we've been in here, searching through tree trunks and other types of nonsense.
If only treasure could staunch the flow of otherworldly corruption.
That's a pretty good haul, though, for the first thing we get. And we get punished for not bringing laudanum right off the bat.
Place of dread.
Start stacking that bleed. Did we not? Oh, we did. Okay. This guy's dead for sure. Good. Or this lady. She has bosoms. Worth noticing. Perfect. And he should be dead. Yes. Okay. Very good. Oh no. Okay. Well, we left our occultist with no good targets. Our occultist really wants to be in this slot. It's a bit of a weird, you know, mismatching combo.
As the fiend
Let's just give him the kill.
A faint hope blossoms.
Yeah, hope to get some stress relief. Horror is definitely not a problem when you have a jester in your party. Just get rid of his own stress. Just gotta remember to keep the torchlight up.
A death by
Or else we'll lose a lot of our buffs that we have.
a singular strike.
How much bleed do we have on him? 10? Okay, this one's dead too. Fungal crawler. Getting knocked out. She can heal herself and get rid of this. Good, good. Let's not cause any bleeds. So not only does she heal for 4 here, she gets rid of 3 damage worth of blight,
that cuts on its own.
and she gives herself a pretty powerful buff. There's very little downside to using this because you get such a huge damage and accuracy buff that it almost makes up for it over the coming turns. Good. Nice. We're landing these 23s, which are above the cap thanks to our healing items. Just get rid of all the stress. And because he's been horrified, he has the plus 15% stress until camp. And this thing is dead. $33. Just huge numbers. Let's let her get the kill. Nice.
Continue the onslaught. Destroy them all.
Happy to see a shovel there too, because I was a little self-conscious about our only having 3 shovels, because this place you can really use the extra ones. 70, 50, 80. Good job, Sir Jester. Pack of loot.
A handsome reward for a task well performed.
You know what? Let's pop these. We know we want gold. We'll be out of torches here in a second. But our goal is to finish every single battle. So if there's a battle in the last room, we've got to take that.
Place.
Yeah, we may have to go all the way to the end. We haven't seen a secret room in any of our runs in quite some time. Okay, does this interact with holy water? Did I just toss the only thing that interacts with this, or use? I didn't really toss it. Yeah, I did. That was a dumb move. I probably should have just gotten rid of the bandages. But bandages I know you can use on the mummies, which helps you get more loot. So I was kind of thinking about the loot. I wasn't really thinking about positive quirks. I don't think you want to touch this thing. Yeah, you don't touch these unless you have holy water. So let's just keep on rolling. We'll pop that torchlight. Let's make sure we stay in the light. That's a dead maggot. That's a dead maggot. No, it didn't bleed. Nice. The occultist is the only one that gets the kill.
Obliterated.
Right. We know you're tough, Stanley. Every time I read Stanley, all I can think of is Stanley from The Office. And him telling people that stuff is up their butts.
Their formation is broken. Maintain the offensive.
It's always funny how much The Office is like, how polarizing it is. I remember when it was like a thing, like still on TV, you know, episodes being made, and some of my friends watched it and they loved it, and they would always talk about it, and when they would talk about it, it would sound really funny, and then when I would go to watch it, I would find myself like cringing and not enjoying it. No, he's obsessed with carcasses. We could have got stuff. Yeah, we had the herbs. So for the longest time, I didn't like get into it as much as I could have. Like I loved where they really like got their stride, and maybe like the 2nd, 3rd, 4th season type of thing. But if you've never watched The Office, I don't want to spoil things, but certain characters leave. Although, you know, if I spoiled The Office, I wouldn't feel that bad about it. I mean, it's been out forever. See if we can't kill both of these. Nice.
Give them no quarter.
Perfect. Now we just got to deal with the big blob boy. But yeah, once certain main characters leave, the dynamic kind of changes, and the show is still very funny, don't get me wrong. It's just very different. Damn, I was about to say that our Hellion is perfect for this, because the Hellion can pretty much one-shot these ectoplasms, but not if they miss. Yeah, we could end up having a difficult time here. This one's dead thanks to the bleed. Resisted this time.
Confidence surges as the
Excellent
enemy
crit.
crumbles.
Yeah, we need to lower its bleed resist so that we can keep causing the bleed.
Decimated.
But yeah, the Hellion missing that first attack is a little bit terrible. Very good. 16 bleed on this thing and it's dead.
Eradicated.
36 damage. I'll take it. She does do increased damage versus bleeding. That's something I don't think I've ever noticed. So she has really great synergy in here if she can land
The bigger
crits.
the beast, the greater the glory.
Okay, we definitely don't need this. The Journal of Darius. Have we ever read the 6th one? I don't think so. So let's read this together. The Journal of Darius the Highwayman. My end. I scrawl this, victim of cruel fortune, who took me upon my wager, for I have lost my lucky coin, and I now lie helpless as my blood flows swiftly from my ruined body. My fingers are cold. It was no trap, nor raving cultist that sealed my fate. We were ambushed by strange, undulating shapes, 2 small entities that I cannot hope to describe, and a third, much larger beast. Poor Moria was crushed into a pulp as Therion defended her. He soon lost his arm and his wits left him. Shambler, Shambler. He kept shrieking as Raven yanked him to flee. I tried to play hero to buy them a few moments, blew away one of the smaller monsters, last shot, then smashed into the wall the big one. Maybe they made it out. Yeah, that's what happens when you fight a Shambler, man. That's how I feel too. So no worries there. Of course, I realize now I still have the journal page that I could have tossed, but we're gonna just toss that now so I don't forget. No, we just got rid of punished. Sometimes you can still find treasure though, so we'll
gold,
search.
trinkets and baubles, paid for in blood.
And we 100% need to pop that torchlight. Very good. I will say, the one thing this party is doing excellently is really raking the back line. As long as we don't miss. But like between the Abyssal Artillery and the Rain of Whips, like we can really hit these dudes. Happy that he used Horror on him. Because he's already got the debuff. I don't think it stacks. It'll make the Horror more effective, but I mean, without the Jester it might be a problem, but with the Jester it's really nothing. We could even be using Battle Ballad here, trying to get increased crits. Yep, super dead. We can start focusing on the big fungus. We need to start healing as well. We're letting our guys get a little bit low just so we can kind of manage the fight better. But we do need some heals. And it's a lot more dangerous to do with the Occultist as your healer because he's a lot less reliable. For instance, here we could go to heal and get like a 3, and then we feel stupid because then he gets knocked out next round.
Gently.
So you gotta be careful.
This is how a life is taken.
And he can heal himself once he drops to a certain point.
The slow death, unforeseen, unforgiving.
So it's probably better to heal her. Man, look at the amount of blight he has. It's crazy. am I doing here? He says. He gets a buff. And now he can use any one of these. This heals himself and an ally, which is pretty cool. Makes him kind of an auxiliary healer. I like to pair him also with the occultist. Sometimes the occultist fails you. This also does damage, and it causes bleed and heals him. And debuffs him in the same way. They both like reduce the effectiveness of his healing skills. That way you can't just like endlessly cycle them. I think I'm gonna do this. Huge heals. I thought about this too. That because of his positioning, that makes him somewhat useless this turn, but that's okay.
A devastating blow.
If we were in a big boss fight or something, that might matter. But right now, we're just gonna knock out this last creature and call it good. Pretty strong group. Very resilient. It's dead next turn no matter what. Maybe we can cheese a little bit, get ourselves some extra stress reduction. It all depends on who goes first. Yeah, we could have healed with her. There's a lot of little things we could have done.
These nightmarish creatures can be felled. They can be beaten.
Okay, so of course I'm going to toss that for portraits. Bandages I wanted to get rid of for potential, treasure purposes. Could get rid of medicinal herbs. Two herbs or two bandages. We'll see. Once we camp, we'll get rid of like a full stack of stuff. We have another battle here. Alright, we've got the AoE to crush this crone. I love that. Good. Needed that bleed. She resisted the bleed. Wow. We got the kill. Awesome. We didn't really need to heal him. We could have let him take some damage. So this is super annoying. Confusion spores might wreck us here. Really happy to make this a 2v4. Now the Jester is one of the unique characters that can move all the way back. Or all the way forward. Nope, not doing that. Resisting that bleed is pretty obnoxious. So let's just get her out of here. The thing about the giant is, yeah, he's annoying. He can do the poison spores and the confusion spores. And like I said, that's annoying. But it's the big tree branch smackdown that he can use whenever he has a vulnerable target, which is kind of what she tried to set up, and that marked boy tries to set up, that little fungus, the artillery. They mark someone, and then he hits them for like 50 damage and wrecks your whole day. But what this party is really resilient against is anyone trying to single target kill us. We're weak versus AoE because we can't heal that effectively. We're a little bit more effective than we otherwise would be thanks to the heals on the flagellant. But for the most part, if someone gets hit for 40 damage, or 29, I mean, he can almost heal for that much. He sometimes can for more.
Masterfully executed.
These things have a lot of health, so you just got to start burning them. Bleed works wonders. Resisting the debuff, oddly enough. And then we roll a 6 to mock me. As long as he doesn't smack him again. Worst possible shuffle, probably. Not mad at that, though. And the bleed has to be enough to kill him, and it certainly is. And I was about to say, let's hope, cross your fingers for a big number.
Prodigious size,
And we're going to leave this fight in
not
just about as good of
dissuade the
condition
sharpened
as
blade.
we entered it. Don't need blood at all. It's basically worthless to us at this point. Defender's Seal is just like worth 750 or something. We could toss... I mean, I don't know. We could toss some bandages. I'm just going to toss that instead. There's no way that something that we get in a little bit isn't going to be much, much more valuable. Okay, Jester is still 80%. Let him touch the poisonous mushrooms. Alright, and this time we're going to want to try and make some room. Gold, because gold will go up to 1750, whereas there's no guarantee that we're going to get another emerald. Sadly, I think I'm just going to toss the emeralds. Watch, right here we're going to get some more emeralds. I'm going to feel so bad. No? Okay. The Blackest of Fates. I mean, we haven't fought a Shambler in a while. I don't know if I would, though, with this particular party. To say whether or not we could do it is not really the point. It's whether we could do it and survive well.
Corruption, malformed with misintent.
One portrait, eh? We'll toss one portrait.
The match is struck. A blazing star is born.
We're very close to the end. For all I know, this could be the last room. The only ones that count are the room battles. Perfect. This guy is dead. I wish we could hit him, but probably just should have put the damage on the big guy. A little bit of a mistake. That's alright, we're not punished. Literally not punished.
Ringing ears, blurred vision. The end approaches.
Well, there goes our dodge. He's dead next turn, so he gets one more good attack. The zeros are the worst. Of course. You gotta love it. It's like having a football announcer, like a sports announcer, say something that's super obvious. I feel like that's all I do sometimes. Of course, zero is the worst. I mean, it's a zero. 22 bleed. We need a big heal from the occultist right now. That's what I'm talking about. Literal 40 crit heal. And this guy's dead too.
Champion falls.
Man, I want to make room for these busts and for this gold. I think we just camp here.
A moment of respite. A chance to steel oneself against the coming horrors.
Now that's a coffin. The ancient coffin is like slightly ajar. It's kind of like, I think is what it says. I don't think you need anything to interact with it. I was kind of looking at this medicinal herb, like, do you need that to interact with the coffin? And you don't. Does he have a disease? Because that would be convenient if we could remove it. We really don't have much we can do here. We can sharpen spear. Give her a crit. Tiger's Eye. Every rose has its thorns. I love the music. We could prevent nighttime ambush. We should have done this before we used... Yeah, that was a little bit of a mistake. We're going to do it anyway, though. No nighttime ambush for us. And we'll sharpen her spear. So her crit chance is out of this world right now. Plus 18%. And I think she gets some pretty serious... Yeah, she gets an 8% crit mod. 9 on this. Yeah.
The light, the promise of safety.
Wow. Okay. Well, see if we get a scout. That'll completely change what I toss. If I don't see anything that requires a shovel, like shovels are gone. We probably don't need food. Like we just had a hunger check and we just camped, so I'm gonna toss that. Tiny bit greedy. And of course we're going to come across... Okay. There are, like, curios in here that require shovels. Next will be the torches.
As the light gains purchase, spirits are lifted, and purpose is made clear.
Alright, this might be the last room. And another coffin. We're a little bit out of order. It doesn't matter, though. Nice. Wasn't expecting to get the kill. Dead next turn.
A decisive pummeling.
And we will, of course, continue.
This expedition at least promises success.
We've been quite successful. We didn't take a single hit, and let's go over here and see what's up. Oh, do we still have keys? We do.
A fortune, waiting to be spent.
So here, you gotta have bandages. I don't know what the odds are of us still getting items, but it's probably like 50-50 or something like that. I'll take the chance. Nice, just a free 1,000 right at the end. This is going to end up being an extremely lucrative run in both heirlooms and gold. I mean, we have 3 rubies, for goodness sakes. No reason to let the maggots hit us at all. Really want to lower his resistance to bleed. Yeah, drop him down to 27%. Now we should just be able to do it at will.
Fear consumes the
Triple
mind.
horror, eh? Good.
Well struck.
Nice. We can just cycle around like that. He's probably got enough bleed on him to kill him at this point. Yeah, 20. Peace out, man.
Victory. Perhaps the turning point.
What would I toss for 8 crests? Yeah, 1 sapphire is only worth 1,000 versus, 1,250 here. Hopefully I'm not missing anything obvious. We know there isn't a battle here. There's probably not a curio either. Alright, let's get the heck out.
Driving out corruption is an endless battle, but one that must be fought.
satisfying as that sound is, it can get super repetitive. Did anyone go up to 6? They all did. Wow. Okay, improved stress reduction while camping. Lower accuracy, germaphobe versus blighted. I mean, that's
The town
something.
is alive with wild
Whoa.
merriment and desperate jubilation.
The town is alight with a spirit of goodwill and revelry, but this life-affirming attitude is not predicted to last long. What exactly is free? Literally everything? Wow. Everything is free. I don't even remember the last time I've even seen that. That's crazy. Let's sort by levels. So our lowest levels, we only have a couple level 3s. We lost Xena. That's what we need. We need to pick up another Hellion.
Barbaric rage and unrelenting savagery make for a powerful ally.
We did lose Xena. So Xena, you're locked back in. A lot of stress stuff, but also steady here to kind of completely counter that. Luminous, deadly. These are 3 of the better quirks in the game, and she has them. Nice pickup. Ooh, we don't have this. Oh man, did I mean to sell this? I thought I did. We of course don't need double antiquarian Candle of Lives. We could if we were running like a double antiquarian build, which you can do because they have like their guard me or protect me abilities, and they can off heal pretty effectively with the right trinkets. I could see you doing that, but do we want this? No, I mean, it's cool when you get it early in your run. What else did we pick up? I feel like we grabbed something right at the end. Did we not unequip? We did. So let's do that. We can come down here and sell the Book of Holiness, which is just a worse version of the Book of Sanity. Honestly, let's sell these guys. We dipped kind of low in our funds. Oh man, but we're going to make up for it here. We are going to identify whoever really needs the treatment ward, and this would be an awesome time to be able to unlock the 3rd levels. Oh man, we need more busts. We could trade, we would probably have to trade all of our portraits.
Curious methodologies.
That's not the important part. This is the important one.
Even the most tormented soul.
And yeah, it's way too expensive. We need 60 busts to make that happen. Damn. Okay. Well, let's identify who we're going to use in our next adventure here. And yeah, we now have the Hag Witch. Damn. For a focus ring, that's pretty good. We already have one of those that we kind of use. But the Hag's Ladle is an item that you could use pretty regularly on the Plague Doctors. There we go. My brain works. We could bring these 4 right back in here and get them crushing the Hag Witch. This back line is what I kind of don't like, though. I would want to trade out either the Jester or the Occultist for someone who could function better in the back. And I think we trade out the Occultist for a different healer. More reliable heals. And I think we're going to do that. Man, I kind of took so long on that last run. Oh man, that sucks. Boom. Let's do that. I like it. And then Brett here. No, nothing super good on Brett. Tiberius, I don't like confirmed at all. Second wind's pretty cool. We'll lock that in. Alright. I think that's pretty fair. Everything's been unequipped, but we can fix that right now. Sanity, let's give him some protection. Let's run once again. We can do that. It's not super necessary. Bright tambourine though. Looking good. Alright. Our big problem, we don't have a lot of backline stuff. I don't remember how many spaces the Hag's Cauldron takes up, because it could affect how well our flagellant is able to hit. You know what, let's very quickly now. Back into here. Everyone's good, of course. Here. Yeah, that's all good. Alright. Let's quickly go in here and see if we can't take down the Hag. This could actually be pretty fast if they don't make us walk an enormous amount. To get to her. We could have to go through 5 rooms, we could have to go through 6,
her wild
7, 8.
policy of
I mean, it could take forever.
self-experimentation grew intolerable. She quaffed all manner of strange fungi, herbs, and concoctions, intent on gaining some insight into the horror we both knew to be growing beneath us. The change in her was appalling, and no longer able to stomach it, I sent her to live in the Weald, where her wildness would be welcomed.
It's funny, he almost loved her, in a way.
There is method in the wild corruption here. It bears a form both wretched and malevolent.
So this is great. 4 rooms we know we don't have to go to. She's here or here. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Really good split for us. That'll let us do this quickly.
Wealth beyond measure, awarded to the brave and the foolhardy alike.
This is the last one about the guy who was turning into a fish person. It says, I cannot recall why we ventured onto land. Why did we leave when Mother Ocean provided all we needed beneath her tender waves? I will now return home, back to her embrace. Indecipherable scratchings fill the remainder of the page.
If only treasure could staunch the flow of otherworldly corruption.
Keep that torchlight nice and high in case we were to encounter some sort of ambush.
A fortune waiting to be spent.
And that is an actual fortune. We'll toss the food. It's a lot of deeds. We don't need this many torches because we know we're not going very far. Gotta love being able to apply bleed to multiple people. I knew she would miss. This thing's dodge is so high. 36. It's higher than ours on some of our characters.
How quickly the tide turns.
Let's just keep our stress low too before we get to the boss. We can camp, of course, and we probably will, just to get some buffs. Go for it again, because we know that if we hit him, it's a one-shot. Everything bleeds. Come on. Happy to see that. Now we can focus heal him. We'll do an AoE here. That'll top off 3 of our characters, give him a little bit of a heal.
A death by inches. Press this advantage. Give them no quarter.
16 damage. It's done.
The slow death. Unforeseen. Unforgiving.
We'll let him chug these Twinkies. Pop
As the
that,
light
pick up
gains
the ruby.
purchase, spirits are lifted, and purpose is made clear.
Anything that we could really toss? I mean, citrine is of course not valuable. 1 anti-venom, I suppose. That doesn't feel great. But there's definite odds of us getting more citrine. But push comes to shove, we'll 100% get rid of that. This is going to be a lot of food, but sometimes I think you can also get stuff.
Laden with loot are often low on supplies.
Yeah, we're just going to toss it. I like a map. You never know, there could be like a secret room up here or something that we just wouldn't have known about. Sadly, we still don't know which one the boss is in, and there are battles here. So we need to get a scout once we get closer. Okay. Citrine goes for that. Just keep rolling. 90% chance now that he's level 6. Whereas last time we had 80%. Come on, scout. This is a pretty annoying group. They have no real synergy, but these dogs can be so hard to hit. And of course, right as I say that, we crit him. Excellent. That one's dead.
Compassion is a rarity
Dead in 2
the
turns.
fevered pitch of battle.
Start the long climb to destroy the giant. If you look at his model, he's got like toes or something hanging from his chest.
Slowly, gently. This is how a life is taken. A decisive pummeling.
Very good. Alright, hate to miss that, but we don't really have to worry about her having damage on herself. Just use judgment over and over again. She'll self-heal and do damage. Resisted the bleed chance. Yeah, this guy's dead. 34 bleed is what we got up to.
Perhaps the turning point.
I was about to say if I can get a good scout, because we could rest here. Let's pick up that gold. That's a full stack. We don't need a chest. We don't need the keys, rather, is what I was just thinking. We really don't need the shovels, I don't believe. Well, we need the keys because we're about to open this chest. But if we just eat some of this food, no one else is even hurt. Let's pick that up. Let's open this.
Glittering
Wow.
gold, trinkets and baubles, paid for in blood.
Yeah, I had a feeling that would happen. We're not going to go grave robbing without the right tools. Happy to land that.
Obliterated.
So no unnecessary stress from him. That's a 6 bleed. That's pretty huge.
The blood quickens.
The ghouls are sick too. Like just the way they elongated the arms and gave them claw hands. They're so menacing looking. They remind me of the Ogre Kingdoms from Total War Warhammer 2. They have a unit, or not Total War Warhammer 2, but from Warhammer Fantasy is what I meant to say. The ogre babies that get thrown into the dark and starve, but they eventually turn into these things. I think they call them Gorgers. That's what this guy looks like to me.
Their cursed champion falls.
Another ruby.
This expedition at least promises success.
Okay, we're going to toss the key. We're going to come here and disarm this. And then we're going to back up and, you know, use our firewood. Now, sometimes that kind of makes another, you know, battle spawn. But not always. We're basically just trying to clear our way to the boss.
Gathered close in tenuous firelight and uneasy companionship.
So he's considered religious, so he gets plus 15 protection, which is pretty good. Let's give her the big crits. Make sure he doesn't have any disease that we need to get rid of. Once again, she can sharpen her spears for even bigger crits. And we'll reduce stress and give them even less stress for this battle. So, I mean, this is why you do it, guys. These buffs are not insignificant. You know, 1 or 2 big crits.
Heroes may indeed stalk these shadows.
Okay, we got
Yonder,
ambushed, but
a glint of gold.
it's by the weakest enemy possible. Oh my god. Look at that shuffle. Probably the worst possible shuffle for us. We literally couldn't do anything. That's crazy. And we missed there. We can use some of our remaining food. To heal up whatever damage we take in this. Resisted the bleed. Unbelievable.
Decimated.
Get out of here. I'm not really mad at this because we'll probably get some decent
waits
loot here.
for the slightest lapse in concentration.
It just would have felt nice to go into that boss battle like in perfect condition. These dodges.
Annihilated.
I'll take it. I mean, our crits go up pretty big as well. Let's whiff. Yeah. Their accuracy goes up. See, they have like those 3 little hash marks. resisted the stun. That's good.
Continue
But yeah,
the
now we're
onslaught.
damaged.
Destroy them all.
And we definitely want to correctly arrange. We're going to come back in here, and right before we go into the boss, that's when we'll use the food. We want to hold it until the last possible second. That way, if the game tries to screw us with a random hunger check. I mean, I think that's about as good as we're going to get, guys. Let's do it. Wish me luck.
Twisted and maniacal.
So she is in the back.
A
That kind of
slathering
sucks
testament to the powers of corruption.
for the flagellant. We'll still be able to drop bleed on her. You know, we have such huge crit. We gotta go for this. As much as I want to put bleed on her. Any chance we stun her at all? Not really. I mean, that's some good damage we just did. She puts the healer in the pot. That's okay. Just keep working her down. It's going to kill her over time. Or it's going to bring her down to, you know, low health, death's door, and then she'll be spit out, and we'll be able to use her to heal herself. But yeah, that's all we need to do. And she does increase damage versus bleed now, so she'll do even more damage. We just have this thing dead if we land a rain of whips. Yeah, she's got to try and heal herself. Wow. Just absolutely smashed here. She's dead. Not even going to be at death's door when she gets spit out.
Consumed by the spores she spawned.
Wonderful. And that's it, guys.
The light, the promise of safety.
We could continue, but I mean, we're pretty much full here. And that's all we needed. Let's get out of here. Successful run. We pick up another focus ring. We pick up the unique trophy item, the Hag's Ladle. Nice fat stack of gold here. Probably close to 40 when you consider our interest. 30 more crests. Good bit of deeds. I'm happy.
I was lord of this place before the crows and rats made it their domain.
You're so depressing, Wayne. Who else did we lose in that climactic bet? We lost another Vestal. That's what it was. We lost a Vestal. So if I see another Vestal, I'll take one. The Sacred Scrolls is an item that I'm surprised we don't have. Because it's what I like to pair with that other, with the head. The stress, we've been like leaning on that stress. Yeah, I almost want to buy this, guys. We're finally over 200k. But I usually pair this with the head on, well, of course, let's unequip. So I can show you what I'm talking about in case you don't already know. Put Junia's head, so we get plus 20% stress, but plus 30% healing. And then I pair it with the book, so that basically we just get plus 30% healing. But what I like to do is pair it with the Sacred Scroll, so we get plus 63% healing, which is huge. Especially when you're talking AoE heals. We only end up, at the end of the day, with plus 10% stress, which isn't that bad. The damage component is, I mean, it's super negligible. You barely notice minus 33% damage because you're always trying to heal in the harder parts of the game. And the stun skill chance, of course, you can still land a stun when you need it, but it's such a high positive for such a little negative. I almost want to buy it. I don't know what I would sell, though. We picked up some junky trinkets at the end there that we can sell, like the stun stone and the blight stone. So those can go, of course. But yeah, it's like 20 something grand. I don't know. But guys, anyway, thank you so much for watching. Once again, my name is Brett. My channel is Goodtalk Gaming. Hopefully I go to look at this after I'm done. And it has audio. That would be wonderful. Alright, let me read you guys a knock-knock joke, send you on your way. Knock-knock, who's there? Before. Before who? Before you go to school, do your homework. Got it. Okay, I think I messed that one up a little bit, but I think you get the gist. It was funny. We all laughed. And, alright guys, take care. And, yeah, I'll see you in the next one, y'all. Later.